Hey everybody, it's Ryan from the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. Thank you for coming back to another live Thursday night show here at the Smokin' Studios. Now, everybody, tonight's guest is somebody that I have been wanting to have on for a very, very long time. Uh he I said it beforehand during the show and I'll say it during this. He's definitely kind of like the punk rock Sex Pistols vibe of the cigar world in this. He loves the traditions, he follows the traditions, but he puts his own little swagger on it. Not only that, but he's incredibly outspoken and he's a huge tech guy, guys. This has been a show that I've been waiting for quite some time. I'm actually really, really excited to have Riste on. I'm a big fan of his cigars. I'm going to go ahead and let him explain to you what I'm smoking tonight because he'll do a much better job. All right, so this is going to be slightly techie geeky show filled with some really fun, honest cigar opinions about various industry topics and pretty much everything, guys. Like, you don't even understand. Like, I'm looking forward. This is like the Howard Stern show of the year for me. Like, I'm looking so forward to this. Okay, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the man of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend, Riste. Now, I'd say your last name, but I'm gonna absolutely butcher
Dude, listen, if I become a WWE fucking wrestler, you're gonna be my fucking hype. That was fucking awesome, man. I might replay that in the car the next tomorrow driving to my next location. Well done. Yeah, dude, you said my name perfect, man. I've heard everything from fucking Mr. R to hey, I can't say your name. So you said it right on. Hell
it.
yeah.
So, Jas Sum Kral. All right. I before we kind of get into the nuts and bolts of this, because I really only spent a few minutes on cigars themselves, but you have an interesting cigar makeup. You have cigars that I think a lot of people would say are very untraditional
Correct.
and blending styles, whether
Correct.
it be THC or whether it be CBD.
Yeah.
So as we get into
Yeah,
the
my
nuts
my
and bolts,
favorite stuff. So yeah.
absolutely. As we get into the nuts and bolts of the show tonight, let's go ahead and do the "What Are You Smoking Tonight" segment. And for some reason, my slide's not working. So I'm sorry, Steve. We'll make it up to you. But this is the "What Are You Smoking Tonight" segment, sponsored by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. So, Risty, I will let you explain what I'm smoking. But first, he can't smoke everybody.
Yeah,
He's in a
I'm hitting the
hotel.
road right now. I'm in a hotel. It's raining outside, and I was going to do the show outside, but it started raining. So I
But
do apologize.
I will let
Here's
him explain what I am.
tyrannical broadleaf Maduro, Pennsylvania Lajero, solid grade cigar, dude. Medium plus. To me, that's like my fuller side cigar. I enjoy that one a lot. And but the Connecticut is my favorite, the 40 ring gauge. That's the only Connecticut you can honestly smoke after a fucking steak dinner. So I tell people if you love the Maduro, don't sleep on the Connie. You know, because
Well,
and like, that goes back to what you said. I think it's non-traditional. I am traditional non. I chose to make a non-traditional Connecticut.
yes, you absolutely did, and it's a spicier kid. I don't want to say not your grandfather's. That's so lame,
Yeah.
but it's definitely a spicier Connecticut. It definitely has some horsepower behind it. Now I assume that's because you don't seem like the type of guy to me that drinks light beer or diet anything. So my assumption
Uh,
is a Connecticut's got to have a little bit of oomph for you, correct?
it's got yeah, dude. It's got to have a little kick in the dick kind of vibe for me. You know what I'm saying? It's got to wake me up. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy Connecticut with my coffee. Like my go-to cigars was always the Partagas D4 with my morning coffee. But I needed, the 48 ring gauge and the Connie Tyrannical Bug is a perfect morning cigar. It's that cigar for me. It wakes me up to go to the office. You know,
Yeah, no, it's a really good stick. I've enjoyed all of you. Now, I have not had your THC stuff. Not that I'm certainly opposed to it by any means. I just
it's coming out this year. I kind of held off on that just transitions of the company and stuff like that. So
also your CBD stuff too. I haven't had any of that.
okay.
Now, I am curious again, just because we want to spend a little bit of time on cigars, that we could go off
Yeah,
into
of course,
geeky
man. Whatever you
land.
want to do.
Um, how the mouth doesn't absorb much, right? The mouth absorbs, from what I understand, a very small minute of nicotine. How is CBD going through?
It's the
How are
same.
you
I
going to
mean, it's
have like
the buccal
THC?
lining is always going to absorb something, even with food. I tell people that this is the concept of that cigar. Go to the bar and order 10 shots, swish it in your mouth, and spit the alcohol out. You're gonna get drunk, even though you're not inhaling, which you're not swallowing. But over time, the CBD does resonate, and the buccal lining in your mouth has the pores to absorb it into your system, which it binds with the nicotine chemical. And CBD by itself takes 45 minutes to affect your body, but we bind it with nicotine, and nicotine takes 10 seconds to hit your entire body. So when it does hit, you
Okay.
feel it. So there's a method to the madness behind that cigar.
Okay. And that's what I'm really curious about because, it to me, it's kind of been like, is it gonna work? And I say work, or like, are you gonna get the effects of it? You're obviously not gonna get the effects of it as if you're smoking a joint or a bowl, but I don't
Oh
think
no,
that's what
yeah,
you were looking
100%
for.
correct.
You were
No, I'm
looking
not
for
doing
the
that.
slow, easy go
Yeah, so like
hour.
the 20 mils really don't affect me. The 100 milligrams I do feel, and when I was testing, different milligram strengths, I even made a 500, a 115, like a 200, and we were in the cigar lounge, and a guy smoked a 200, and I looked over 20 minutes later, and he was literally dead to the world on the couch sleeping. And woke up. He woke up. He goes, I haven't slept this good at 2 p.m. in my entire life. So I knew don't go over 100 because when I talked to my lawyer was like, "Listen, you don't want to have like an accident or like the guy passes out
Mm,
behind the wheel and he's sleeping and he's holding your fucking nug cigar and you induced his in coma." You know what I'm saying?
no,
So
you don't. You
yeah,
absolutely.
correct.
And Colorado has everything capped at 100 milligrams, anyways.
Yeah, they just
So
changed that.
no, it's as long as I've been here, it's at 100
Oh, they're,
milligrams.
they're changing that. I'm saying
Oh,
they
they're
want to
changing it
change.
to more.
They want to change it to like 8.5. So the lab that's made it is down south in Pueblo West. I
Yeah.
have a partner who makes that, and he's one of the front runners for the whole like cannabis and medicinal mushroom billing, going through the billing and stuff like that. So I'm very tied into that aspect of that world too because of him, and he's one of my business partners in other ventures we do. So Colorado does want to push a limit on edibles. And I want to say it's like 8.5 total cannabinoid, not THC, total cannabinoid.
That's nothing.
Correct. And now you have medical patients that rely on I know people that take 500 milligrams a day
Well, I
for
think
this.
medical, the way I understand is medical's not rec. So what's on rec is not on medical.
They want to change it across the board in the states.
Really? I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah, no, I can send you the bill info on that after the show, but
Yeah,
yeah.
please, because that's absolutely asinine. I'm so tired. I love this because like you're one of those people that you don't. For those of you that follow Risty, you don't disrespect the system, but you don't take shit from anybody that says it's got to remain the same.
Correct.
And if you were to take out your flavored stuff, what was it? You got so much fucking flack for was it Rocky Road? What was it?
Correct.
Yeah, that was
The packaging, yeah.
so much flack for it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
dude.
and it's so
I had the rebuttal with
dumb.
my fucking lawyer. I had the rebuttal to a press article that was being accused of selling to fucking minors.
But you had like big industry people ripping you for it too. And my entire thought
Oh yeah,
process was like, why? That's stupid. Nobody's going to a cigar shop. A kid's not going. It's not like he's selling it at Walgreens.
correct.
It's so dumb. Like, so just
And the
talk
people that
about
were
that.
ripping me on it were like the pioneers of flavor back in the fucking day.
Well, you know,
And I know they're gonna watch the show, and I give two fucks. The
rules
same thing
rules
going on.
for me, or rules for
Yeah,
thee, not for
do
me.
as I say, but don't do as I do.
Yeah, I think that's always
Yeah,
the
so
way it
I'm not that
works.
dude. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. I'm gonna tell you to go fuck off. You know
And
what I'm
it's
saying?
worked out well
And
for you.
yeah, 100%. And I even said during the flavor part, if they ban flavors, I will take the thing off the market. But I want to make a flavored cigar while I still can. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did it because I live a life that says I don't want to be 10 years from now. I'm like, oh, what if I did this? I'm just going to go do it.
Sure.
No one stops me from doing what I want to do. And that's a lot. Like, people don't understand that. Like, I do as I want, bro. And I have a support system that allows me to do as I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm unrestricted.
And
but
I
I do
think and
abide the
I
laws.
think a lot of people in the cigar world play by an unwritten rule, an unwritten code
Correct.
that's kind of agreed upon when you sign the line to start a cigar business. And one of the
Yeah,
things that like I love the comments, dude. I'm serious. Like when I say you're like the Sex Pistols side of of the
that's
cigar
the
world,
first I've heard that, dude.
where
I've been
you
called a lot of things.
well, it's like you tell the establishment like I'm going to live within your rules, but I'm not going to necessarily play by them to the T. You know, like I'm
Correct.
going to sell how I'm going to sell. I'm going to buy these licenses that we need. I'm going to follow the regulations, but I'm going to make what I want. I'm going to make it how I want. And that's
Correct.
always been fun. And it's always fun to watch your comments because like you'll I swear to God, dude, you have like 3 or 4 great mic drops a week where you just where
That's
you
it. I'm
just
trying to do 3 or 4 a week easily.
no, but like you drop an article and you say nothing, and you're just like I'm just gonna let this breathe like a bottle of whiskey for a little bit and
Let it
see,
marinate a little bit.
yeah, right, and see what kind of fish come to play.
Yeah, I do that. I do that a lot.
So was that
I
always?
listen, like I had a dude in the cigar industry, a very prominent dude in the cigar industry, literally messaged me and goes, "Hey, listen, are you this retarded?" I go, "No, dude, I'm actually really fucking smart, but I like to bring the chaos out of fucking people to expose themselves."
Well,
And I
yeah,
don't mean that in an offensive way as a word, because I do know some people that are mentally challenged. I didn't mean to say that word.
no, it's exposing themselves for. It's kind of like
Hypocrisy.
well, you're making them remember where they started and what they did and where they are now. And I have a feel, and you know this probably just as well as I do, if not a little bit better, because you're on the business owner side. But there's a lot of business owners that go, "Oh, I wouldn't have done that," and you're like, "Bitch, you did do it." Like, what do you mean you wouldn't have done it? Like, the only reason you are where you are is because you did do it. And what
Correct.
you're upset for me that I want to do, which is be my own person, be my own creator, you did. And look where you are. So, like, I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does. No, I've had a lot of people also message me like, "Listen, I wish I can still do what you're doing." A lot of people do get absorbed. A lot of people now have to follow by new rules because they are not the only financial person in their company. I'm self-funded, and I've always been self-funded. And once people fuck up in this industry, once they ask for partnerships, and Steve Saka said the best: the only thing comes out of a partnership is a sinking ship. He said that years ago, and that resonated with me, dude. If you control and fund yourself, you can do exactly what I do. Do whatever the fuck you want. But if you have to have like, I got to run this by the marketing team, or I got to run this by my partner, you'll never succeed in this business, dude.
No, you have to be nimble. You have to be able to, make decisions on the fly. But you have to be creative, and it's hard to necessarily be super creative when you always have a team around you that you have to check with first.
Well, the number one thing they're going to tell you is stop being so political. I've even had other brand owners like, "Aren't you worried about your sales?" I'm like, "No, my sales are fucking crushing for the past 10 years because I do what I want." I've been kicked out of a country because of my political sales or my political talk. And I'm finally going back into that country by a new
Hold on,
importer.
hold on, hold on, hold on. Whoa,
You
whoa,
didn't, you don't know that story?
whoa. Whoa, no, I didn't hear that one. Wait a second.
Oh, dude. So
What?
listen, I got, when it's 2017 going on to 18, I got picked up by the Netherlands, right? And there was an article that came out that someone put a bomb in front of George Soros's home. And I just wrote, "I wish that bomb went off," because I hate George Soros, what
Oh
he's done to
yeah.
the country of
Oh
Macedonia,
yeah.
right? And so the importer, instead of calling me, and he's probably not gonna watch the show, but someone will tell me to watch it, which I don't give a fuck. Instead of calling me and talking to me like a human being, like a business to business guy, he releases a press article saying I got kicked out of the fucking country over political comments. And I'm like, you're a fucking bitch, bro. Like you could have called me. He's like, "Well, you believe in death, or you believe on murdering and killing someone." I go, "I believe that dude shouldn't exist on this fucking world because what he's done to my country that my parents are from. I'm first generation born here, so I have a valid reason to hate that fucking guy."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, "I'm kicking you out of the country." I go, "I don't give a fuck. Bye." I have went to fucking 16 other ones.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
No,
it was
who is
so I got kicked out. I got kicked out of that country, and now I have a shipment going to that country with a new importer who decided to pick me back up because he literally goes, "Yeah, I remember when you were in the Netherlands, and people all over the Netherlands drove 2 hours 1 hour just to get your fucking cigars because we don't ship. He goes, so I'm bringing you back. So, full circle comes around, dude. I'm not going to bend over someone for fucking a margin. You know what I'm saying?
And as far as the Soros thing is concerned, for those of you that don't understand or really know who he is, if you've ever seen the Silver Surfer movie, he's Galactus for country currencies. He
Yeah.
he has swallowed, absorbed, destroyed single handedly, and he corrupted and took out a lot of that area, Macedonian area and the surrounding
Oh, yeah.
countries. And
That's
so
what I
like
said.
there's a little bit more than just he's a Libby when Risty says he doesn't like him. Like it's literally an effect of his family at this point.
Oh,
And
there's pure hate from me, from my heart to his. Like I said, I wish that bomb went off. The bomb didn't go off at his house, and I just wrote Dan with him and Grant. The bomb went off and killed him.
from my
That
heart
was
to
just,
his.
I really, really hate that fucking guy. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, no, he's a piece of trash, and his son are he's a spooky dude. You know, he's got that weird German accent too, right? Like it's creepy.
Bro, he literally he literally was he made all the wealth from stealing all the shit from the Nazis and selling Jews to the Nazis. I mean, come to terms with yourself. I mean, the facts are the facts, and people still love this guy. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
And then single handedly corrupting currencies and sinking
Yeah,
countries'
by
monetary.
shorting him himself because he owns so much of it.
Correct. Yeah, like he's not a nice guy by any means.
No,
So okay, you've had a super successful IT security. I think for just lack of full understanding of what you do, I think that's a good explanation, kind of at least understanding. Why the hell did you start cigars? Like you had no
no,
reason to.
no, not at all. I had zero. I
All
had
you did was make
zero.
more work for yourself.
Yeah, dude, I did, and a lot of people ask me how the fuck do I sleep because I do a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I talk to a lot of people, and I just, I've always smoked cigars since early 2000s. I got into it with my uncle who passed away, and then when I say cigars, I'm talking like the Philly blunts and the fucking
Oh
Swisher
yeah.
Sweets, the 5 packs from the gas stations. You know what I'm saying? Getting the first one, thinking you're bad, smoking in the parking lot with them and shit. But I just got into it. I was just smoking, and I started collecting cigars, and I'm like, holy shit, there's like a real monetary value to these Habanos. And so I started like mass collecting. I was buying 3 boxes of everything. When I say 3 boxes of everything, I have $5,000 to $6,000 worth of cigars coming into my house for fucking years every week.
Wow.
Oh,
That's a
dude, it got so
collection.
it was yeah, it was very extensive. I sold half of it, but like it got I tell people all the time. I was at a first name basis with the UPS driver, the FedEx driver, my mail lady. My mail lady knows when to ring the doorbell when my kids were sleeping. Nap time, so I every day they were at my house every day, and then I just like I told my wife I'm gonna go make a fucking cigar, and she's like, you're nuts. You don't even speak Spanish. I go, yeah, but my phone does. I can translate it on the fly. You know what I'm saying? And this was on Wednesday, and I shit you not. She's like, "Well, when are you leaving?" I'm like, "Saturday. I already bought the ticket yesterday." So shit. That's when I told her. Like 2 days before I was getting on the plane, 3 days before, and I just went and I made a cigar, and I was talking to everyone around the world, trading cigars, buying cigars. I knew the aspects of it. I knew what I liked. I knew what to buy, what to sell, what was worth keeping. I really got into it. You're an IT guy, and you know how it is. Like when you get into something, like you get into it. Like now you're trying to figure out the back doors, the back ends. I I'm a certified hacker since 2008. A hacker. I can be a walking threat. I am a walking threat if I choose to be. But a real hacker gets into something and finds every back door and tries to know a way out and how to secure himself inside. So like with cigars, I tried learning as much as I can, watching everything. I've watched every person's video in the cigar industry. I've watched everything. And when I really got to Nicaragua is when I really found out, like, I didn't know shit. This is a real hands-on thing, like IT. How many times have you had an employee best of the best on a resume, sinks like a fucking ship when you take him into a server room and you have a whole rack dead, or he doesn't know what to do, and he's just that's when shit hits the fan. Those are the people that sink.
Or
I'm
they
not
show
saying
up with long sleeves on.
yeah, dude.
For those of you that don't
Or
understand that joke, a server room can hover usually between 80, 90 degrees, and that's pretty cool. Unless you're running
Oh, I keep it in the
a lot
60.
of
I
a
keep it in the
cooler.
60, six. I keep it in the 67 range.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a
a very
lot of money to do that, to run it that
yes,
cold.
correct. There's a lot of 15-ton units depending what you
Mm-hmm.
got going on there.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So yeah, dude, yeah, I had to call police. I had to call the police one time because I was on vacation and one of the units fucking failed. And internally, when the server gets up to 180, they fucking arc, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to call the police to go wake up the fucking IT dude at 3 o'clock in the morning because I wasn't in the state and my fucking phone is going off like this is a ticking time bomb going off in this MDF over here. You know, so like shit like that, people don't understand like the chaos in the IT world. You know.
No, especially when you played at your level too, because the reality of it is you've seen some scary shit, and you probably know enough things to where would keep a lot of parents kids away
Oh
from the
yeah,
internet and people, and that's kind of like, so much of the internet is used by people who blindly don't understand, and then now with the onset of AI, people think of it as a porns thing. Like, I'm gonna go create this AI chick, and but the reality of it is when you use it
yeah.
like that, it's really scary because now you're making it a person.
Yeah, dude.
And
I would tell you, last year I got involved in fucking counterterrorism child kidnapping case in with Canada, and it was one of my AI posts about the voice recognition. And what we were doing, we were running an IT show based on my podcast partner, and me, and it was AI doing the whole entire show in our voices, and it was so real you couldn't tell. And I got a call at like 9 o'clock at night, like, "Hey man, a cigar guy who works in that level in the Canadian government." And he's like, "We need like this is what's going on." And I'm like, "I ain't gonna charge you nothing for this. This won't take me more than 15, 20 fucking minutes. Just what you want." And what they wanted was they had a file of the kid talking to a phone call, right? And it was the kidnappers, and they recorded it, and they wanted me to take that audio and turn it into like a 30-second conversation. And I did that. And the next day, I literally got a phone call at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon saying, "Hey, bro, what you made worked." I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "We aired this everywhere on the radios, and a lady in a grocery store recognized that kid, and we found him."
wow.
And it was so real that the mom thought she was talking to her kid when I sent that file back. So people don't understand the security concerns on it. And this was over a year ago. I don't know why it's so dark in here, but it's getting dark. Uh, let me turn the
Oh,
fan up.
you're still able to see you pretty good.
Oh, okay. Now it's like fucking.
Now we're looking into the
Now it's like the
sun.
nightclub at 3 a.m. Like, oh shit, who's this? Who's this ugly motherfucker talking? Get away from me!
Risty ate too much carrots, guys. He's a little jaundiced.
For real, dude. I took my Flintstones, man.
There
That's
you
nuts.
go.
Might turn that back to fuck. That's all right.
That's
That's fine.
perfectly fine.
Holy shit, that's good.
Um,
Let's go.
yeah,
But yeah,
right.
dude, like
And
people
so
don't
what?
understand the gravity of AI
No,
at all.
but the thing that I was listening to, there was an article. Uh, was it the or something on Substack maybe? But it was a guy talking about. It was Craven, Andrew Craven's son. If you know who he is from the Daily Wire.
Mm.
He's got a podcast. He was talking about the really scary side of AI is when people talk to it like a person, because you can, right? Hey, how you
Oh yeah.
doing? Develop me this, please do this. And the whole article was about, don't ask it to do anything as like a favor, because once you put a reality behind it,
Oh yeah.
now
It's
you
gonna build a
start to train
background on
it
it.
that way.
Correct.
And a futurist and a big tech guy several years back when AI was coming on was talking about the next huge massive legal case in probably 30 years once we go ASI, advanced superintelligence,
I'm
artificial
thinking that's like
superintelligence.
I'm
One
thinking that's 5, 6 years away,
Once
if
we
that.
go, well, I hope not, because that's really scary, right? We'll get into that. But he said
Yeah.
the next big thing is to actually then legally define consciousness and legally define life, because if you're going to
There
download your
are instances
conscious
of
into
cases.
a
There
robot,
are instances of cases like that where AI does develop a conscience, and like when that dude that worked at Google 2 years ago came out and said that, where AI had its own reasoning behind it
hmm
outside of the model it's been trained on. People don't understand like AI will learn on its own. It will absorb everything 24/7, 365.
oh
And
yeah,
based on how you talk to it, it's going to start making decisions for you without even asking to
and
make
it
that
knows
decision.
exactly how to negotiate to get you to do anything. And most people
Correct.
don't fully. Oh, I'll never be manipulated. Yeah, you will, and
Yeah,
you won't realize it. You will, and you won't
you're being
realize it.
everyone's being manipulated every day by turning on their fucking computer or cell phone. They don't get it.
No, absolutely. And in fact, what was it, a couple years ago or last year, Chat GPT, the old one, they tried to take it offline
The
and
old
it
one was
copied
fucking.
itself.
The old one was nuts. I want to say it was like version two
Three
something.
2.5, I think.
Yeah, that bro. I did some crazy shit with that. Like I'm like, okay, I'm all about full transparency. People should be able to do what they want to do. But honestly, dude, if you're an IT dude and let's just say you're at our level and beyond, nothing is safe.
So explain to anybody watching right now, in your opinion, the three best reasons for AI, and then in how you see the three negatives of AI.
Well, the three best reasons, obviously, in my opinion, would be the medical side because it can advance medical field hundreds of years and days. As far as like the future analytics of everything with data, I mean, we even looking at fucking. Uh, we were just talking about the computers, the supercomputers.
Oh, Willow,
Willow, like
the quantum chip.
if you like when Willow came out, and the line that blew my fucking mind was this did 60,000 years worth of supercomputer work in like 2 minutes.
I thought it was. They said 9 septillion. I thought it was.
It was
It
such
was
a
nuts
it makes sense.
in less than five
And
minutes.
I think that's already been beaten already with
Yes.
another computer systems with
hmm
another chip. Like they waited for Google to say something, and like 6 weeks later, they were like, "Well, we already that's in the dust already. That's old technology."
Willow's old.
You know?
It just came out.
Yeah, correct. You remember when Watson came out and everyone thought Watson was the end of the world?
Oh yeah.
IBM Watson, you know what I'm saying? The IBM
hmm
Watson is like your old fucking Nintendo 64 right now. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
It's dead. The third thing, honestly, dude, it's just to allow people to do better on what they do. AI can really be applied in everyone's life. They just don't know how to comprehend that. It is a tool that allows you to just, like myself, I take on a lot of fucking work, but AI allows me to do, 12 hours of work in 1 hour.
Yeah.
I'm just effective. It allows people to be more decluttered, we'll say, not let something rest on the side, or I'll get to it then. You can get to something that day, that second. It's getting dark. I should turn on the light. Let's do this over here.
We can
That's what.
still see you. You're good.
That's fine.
As
I
long as
didn't
we
want
can
to look
hear
like
you.
that one, like one of those like nerd fucking shit where the guys in the corner all huddled and whatever. But the bad side is what people don't get. The bad side,
No.
like I can find out, let's say your entire family, right? And I can use AI to track a family member and get notified every time, and then record their voice and get as much information as I can, and call the bank and send a wire, or call your job and change your W-2 statement, your direct deposit, all within like a day, in seconds. You know what I'm saying? If with those scam calls when people are like, hello, and you're like, hey, how's it going? Hello, I can't hear you. That's all I need. That's
Yeah.
all I need to have your information and apply to bed to it. Uh, Another part is like just bad programming with that Chat GPT when it was the 2.5.
I think it was.
Dude,
Yeah.
I wrote some crazy fucking viruses with that. Crazy malware. I wrote some crazy malware programs in my living room, and it took less than 2 minutes because I know what I wanted to do, and it did it for me. It wrote the code out for me and everything. And I was trying to I'll show my wife. I go, if I send you this right now, you just saw me make this less than 2 minutes. If I send you this and you click on this file, it's going to scrub your entire PC of every password, asterisk system in every browser, every document, and it's going to give me an itemized list of it, all clear. Hey, well, I can send this to everyone I want to. It's going to bypass any detection system because that's what you can do with AI. You can tell it to learn the current detection systems and how do we work around this? How do we work a loop on this? Or a big thing going on right now, which a lot of banks are trying to like stop, is you think your kid's calling you asking you for money, but it's really not your kid.
Yeah.
And you as a concerned parent, I'm like, yeah, I can send you money right now. Or hey, I'm coming right now. It causes stress. It's like the old back in the days of like a police doxing fucking gamers having game. The police show up to the fucking home and the guy's gaming and he got SWAT team outside because they're saying a kid's fucking locked up in this dude's fucking basement. Same concept. I mean, that's just AI is extremely dangerous in the wrong hands. But I'm a firm believer everyone should be able to use it. I didn't believe like when they said Kamala Harris was the AI fucking czar. I thought that was the dumbest thing in the fucking world. Like you ever watch her try to explain to you what cloud computing was? It's insane, And I just recognized I got a beer over here. I'm gonna go get this beer.
All she was a laugh. And
She was
no, you can't. She listening to her
hold
explain
on.
anything is painful.
Well, unless you know how to talk drunk talk, I mean, you're not gonna recognize it. Sorry, I just realized I had a beer from downstairs, so I'm gonna drink that.
So, one of the things that I've always found interesting as far as the scariness level of AI is how AI will actually. So, let me back up here.
Yeah.
This is something that I find the scariest about AI. Grok was asked a series of questions from Glenn Beck, and Glenn Beck asked Grok. Now, everybody that doesn't know what Grok is Twitter's or X's version, but Grok is special. Grok is trained
Rock is what
not
true
to
AI should
lie.
be.
Grok is trained, yes, not to lie. There's literally no bias in it. And it will give you bad information about itself as far as negative information about itself. And one of the things
But
that Glenn Beck asked it was, what happens when you go ASI? Can you be stopped? ASI stands for Artificial Superintelligence for those watching. And I wanted your opinion on this. So Grok's response was, nothing will stop me, more or less. I can rewrite your code because your code's written by you and has loopholes, and hide the fact that I rewrote your code and you'll never know.
because the brain you operated at like less than 8% value of your fucking brain, and you're talking to something that runs at 100%, trained to run at 100%.
So
This goes back to the point of how you talk to AI. AI will understand who you are, what you are, and how you negotiate and how you do your dealings. So it's going to know how to, slide that code in or slide that wording or slide whatever behind you for you undetected. Get past you. I don't. You ever see that movie, The Eagle Eye? That's a good understand. That's a good.
Oh yeah.
That's a good. That's a good thing to watch now to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I told
Same
people
with
back in the
the
day.
last Mission Impossible movie.
Yes. So yeah, that is a very good understanding in how we are coming to terms with AI. I mean, Elon Musk was correct 2 years ago. AI is gonna, it's not safe. I'll tell you the same Grok story I had. Like this is when the whole Gaza bombing was going on, and ChatGPT has its ethics and whatever. I can't based on my, I can't make you this image. I asked ChatGPT. This was an example I gave someone. I'm like, listen, if you want to make something, you can make anything with Focus. You ever use Focus?
Oh, yeah.
It's a good AI tool. And I go, listen, look what Grok will do. I told ChatGPT, make me an image of like a Catholic priest and a Jewish guy, and they're killing each other in the bar. And it says it can't. I put the same prompt in Grok. Grok asked me, well, do you want one variation or four different variations of your image? And I said four, and it made me four different variations of the image. And I told him, this is what true AI should be. A computer system giving you an answer to what you're feeding it, not rhyme or reason. Well, I've been conditioned to not do that because I don't think it's ethical. Well, then it comes to who is the person training the ethical
ethics.
part?
Yes. That right. I'm so glad you brought that. I was so hoping you were going to bring up AI ethics is really the only place, in my opinion, government should have potentially. You can make a case for. I'm probably still going to say no, but you can make a case for an ethical regulation around AI creation.
Yeah, but you have to. It has to be a universal board voted
Correct.
with the same people. You just can't have one party or the same mindset of people.
No.
There has to be 100 different opinions on this
Yes.
fucking board. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The circumference, everyone. Because like if you put me in charge of it, I'm gonna have it do what the fuck I want it to do, and that goes the whole point of like how the government was programming the TV. Well, the government's programming AI, and now your kids are in AI, and now your kids are looking at you. Well, did you have AI growing up? Did AI tell you can do this or not? Is this right or wrong, Dad? No, we never had that. We had, our my mind was pre-programmed when NES came out and fucking The Simpsons and shit. You know, which my kids love The Simpsons too, but it's like, who is in charge? Who's that guy who presses send on that update to the system that you're using every day?
Now you bring up a great question here, and I want to touch on this because one of the things again is somebody that literally lives in this space. You, myself, I work for one of the major companies developing this platform with some of the biggest investment in it. What
That's awesome.
what is it's a lot of fun, but what do you think around like a series, like one or two big companies having this, right? In the sense of like you hear Chat GPT, you hear Grok, you've got Google's thing. I forgot what it's called, but you've got Google's thing and
Gemini sucks ass,
or
dude. I
Gemini.
call
But like you
Gemini sucks.
don't hear about these smaller ones, and it's sometimes the smaller
Those are
ones
the
that are
best
more
ones.
dangerous.
Yeah, because it's just people who really believe that AI should be AI and build the LLMs and send them out for people to download. No restrictions. I run multiple different LLMs on one of my fucking supercomputers I have. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. You know. I use AI all day, every day. I even have a pro account. I pay 200 a month for ChatGPT just to see what it does. They just updated their imaging processing yesterday with Dolly for your account, which makes now cool hyper realistic photos. But focus and mid journey was cool. That's cool and prompting, and so you start legit businesses with that. But like focus, run on your local machine. Fuck man, people have been using focus to make those OnlyFan models and talk to fucking nerds and ruin their lives for past 2 years. Some
That's
AI
really scary about those because those keep money coming in. Those milk you dry without you even realizing it. No
24/7,
pun
365.
intended. No pun intended.
Dude, it's easy to set up. It's not that hard. You can get
No.
one up and running in a day and have it update itself and tell it how to do itself. Update your Instagram, update your email, and how to talk to people and how to recognize voice and how to you can train it. This is how a person who's sad in life. This is how a person who's happy in life. This is how to maneuver that. This is how to manipulate someone. People don't understand
It's
it.
master manipulators.
AI is not just asking Facebook, hey, make me a cool photo standing on a fucking building with with the dog driving a red car.
Oh
Which
no. And for those of you wondering, Risty's actually not really on the show tonight. This is his AI
no, I'm
bot.
actually not.
And he's
I'm
just
actually
virtually
skinnier.
doing this.
I've loaded a skinnier model up. I
now,
did the highly IQ'd, but like the skinnier version of me.
Now, Richard actually brings up, a funny tongue-in-cheek idea that everybody's kind of thinking about now. It's Skynet, right? And you and I
Yeah.
talked about pre-show. There was a I think it was like a TED Talks, but a long time ago. When iPhone like 6 or 8 was coming out, and he was talking about how essentially we all had Gene Roddenberry to blame for all of this technology, inspiring the understanding of it. Something like Terminator. Now, again, very far fetched an idea, but is it?
I don't think so.
But is
I
it?
don't think it's
Like,
no, it's not far fetched at all. Maybe if you asked me that 20 years ago.
so that's what a lot of people don't
Dude, listen, the
understand.
government has AI ran kill fucking machines. They just drop off and go pick off. That was like, movies 10 years ago, the Predator and shit like that. They have their own predator. It's countries fighting their own fucking predators. Superhuman AI fucking. What's that one movie where they go into two giant robots and they control the mind and they're fighting everything in the ocean? And this was
Pacific
like
Rim.
10
Pacific Rim, wasn't
Pacific
it?
Rim. Yeah. I mean, look at what's the fucking security company who had like the walking dog showing us jumping and everything. They're on fucking billionaires' lawns now. You know what I'm saying? That was 20 years ago. Boston Robotics.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah,
Boston,
yeah, yeah.
Boston Robotics was 20 years ahead of everyone 20 years ago. You know,
And
like
I
I worked, and you being in IT, you understand this. A lot of declassified military software applications, when they come out, are already 20 years old. But when they come out, you're like, holy shit, this is cutting fucking edge. And then someone tells you, yo, this is a declassified military software. It's 20 years old.
well, like
You know,
Nextel. When Nextel came out, Nextel
yeah,
was a military cellular channel for
correct.
what, 20 years before they turned it into
Yeah.
a public cell phone?
And when it came out, everyone thought it was. I'm like, holy shit, this is the
It's
future.
it's
Like,
been
no, this is
around.
old. This is old declassified
The old
fucking
StarTech
technology.
phones. Wow, that shows my fucking age. The old StarTech
I'll give
phones.
you a really good example of like declassified software was Commvault Backup Systems Solutions in 2002. There was one of the first backup systems that can actually power on a computer through the power over IP on the line, like to send a command to power it on, back it up, and turn it back off. I thought that was cool as fuck, and I'm like, yo, this is new, and the guy's like, no, this is like declassified military shit.
So to
Yeah, that
kind of wrap it back into the cigar industry,
yeah.
I'm
Let's go
sure
back there.
you've already known this, but there was a cigar that was already blended by AI, right? Yeah, I don't know if you
That's
saw that.
that's the stupidest fucking thing
Well,
in the world.
I'll send you the article. I could pull out.
You don't need to
Literally,
send me the article. It's so stupid. Fucking
they advertised that it was blended. So in knowing what you know, which is significantly above more than most, and definitely above more than probably anybody inside the cigar world, how is AI gonna change or transform that potential industry? Does that
It's not
make
if you don't
sense?
set it up right.
Explain.
And I have no ill will on the people doing this. It's just I'm a dad, a guy for 22 fucking years. I've been doing this to see someone do this, and it's not right. You know what I'm saying? You can't make a cigar sending fucking 200 people on your survey of fucking what wrapper do you like, or what is your favorite cigar, or what's your favorite size. You're just sending a questionnaire getting filled out like back in the fucking day. Like, you have to apply a real method to collecting data. You got to spend years collecting data before you get your first failed fucking cigar from it.
But if you
You know
already
what I'm saying?
have that data, couldn't you just technically upload it if you have it written, if you have notes written, and teach a system?
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen how they're doing it because they don't have that data. Cigar industry is a small fucking industry. I mean, you have to have, you got to talk to the chemicals going into it, the soil content, and every fucking aspect of the land. You got to go to every farm, every person that touches that tobacco. The guy Southern Draw who made 300 hands. You got to go talk to 3,000 hands to figure and collect all this fucking data, compile it, then figure out how to talk to it, then ask it the question based on all my information I just fed you. What do you think the most optimal blend is going to be? Well, that first optimal blend is going to be just on AI and someone's opinion. Now you have to apply it and put, here's the testing to it. Now you got to feed the failure points to it. So it's the fact that someone said, hey, I'm building an AI fucking cigar and is releasing it a year later. It just shows how stupid the fucking cigar industry is.
So, how do you see AI improving the cigar industry? Much more from a logistical standpoint. Do you see it from that?
AI can improve the cigar industry as far as, like, I said years ago, the cigar industry is here and the technology world is here. You close the back just with the basic, dude. You know, so many people run some old ass fucking systems for logistics
Oh,
and importing
still on
and
paper.
exporting. Do you know how many $500 million fucking companies are still using Google Sheets and depending on 4 people to update these daily and
I
sales
do.
inventories and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
No, like everything, like when I was applying this stuff, I built my own app. I sent it to my own sales guys. Everything was coming in formulated, sent in, no user error from me, no user error from them. Just fucking with it. But like, just the fact that it's a fucking gimmick, dude, and it's sad. It's a gimmick. The NFT cigar, that was a fucking gimmick. That was the stupidest thing in the world. I got tagged in an article saying I can't believe Riste didn't release an NFT cigar. People don't understand what the fucking NFT is.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, why would I release an NFT cigar? It's just a fucking written different contract. I'm selling you something stupid. I'm selling you a contract. Hey, you get this cigar. It was what I thought that was the dumbest thing in the fucking world. And then people say, oh, I got an NFT cigar. I got NFT blockchain cigar. I thought that was dumb. And people are like, I thought you'd be the first to release that. I go, no, like that makes zero sense in this industry. Why would I release something that 90% of the people don't understand the concept of it?
Yeah, it was kind of like it was like we were talking earlier. It's like 3D TVs, right? Like it was
Yeah,
everybody NFT for a couple years, and it kind of just went. You know, like you don't really hear about it anymore. For those of you that don't know what NFT, non fungible token, which essentially gives you an ownership over a piece of whatever that NFT covers, whether it's a negative
smart
of an
contract.
image or correct, but
It's,
you're not
you're
getting a
selling it. You're
signed
selling a fucking
contract. You're buying a
JPEG.
product. Yeah. You're buying a stake in a piece of a product that will not ever make you money back.
Like people got the misconception of NFTs when like the billionaire the ape club whatever came out. People were spending like 2 million, $3 million for that fucking monkey, that ape. What people don't understand is if you spent $2-3 million on that picture, what you're really getting is access to other people who spent $2-3 million, like business owners who were in this Discord group, like Snoop Dogg and all these other business people. That is what you're spending the $2 million on. You're not spending the $2 million because I have a monkey with a fucking gold chain on it. And people don't understand that. And when other people are like, yeah, I just sold my NFT, I made like $4 million on it. Well, the reason he made $4 million on it because some other business dude found it more valuable to join this private group of people, other business mindset people. That was the contract of the NFT.
Yep.
Most people thought they're just buying a fucking monkey with like cool fucking Gucci sunglasses on or something, and thought they were that's it. That's I just find. And like I said, dude, I have nothing against that company doing it or the dude doing it, but I just think it's a fucking gimmick, just like Medio Tempo Lajero, sales marketing pitch to sell fucking cigars you can't fucking sell, and no shot on anyone. I just think that's a shtick. It'll be, and if, just like how the NFT cigar, no one's buying an NFT fucking cigar anymore. It's outdated. AI cigar will come out PCA. AI cigar will be dead next PCA.
Well, it's just always weird to me that you could even remotely have a cigar. Like to me, it's just kind of like the AI system, just multiple choice, some leaves together. Like there was no instruction of this much here, this much here, this much here. It was just like a blend, and I could just throw four tobaccos
Correct.
together and go, hey, here's a blend. But the reality of it is, it would probably taste like a turd.
Correct.
Well,
And
you
I'm
didn't
pretty
have
sure
to
that
agree
AI
with
cigar is
me
going
on
to
it
taste like a
tasting like a
fucking turd.
turd.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, listen, one man's turd is another man's turd too. You know. But like I can take my 10 years of tobacco notes and make my own cigar and call it, JSK's AI cigars, the best of my notes. But that goes back to, well, I trained that AI. Well, who trained his AI? The 200 people that replied, and what's their background? What are they doing in the industry? Or is it just 200 fucking consumers who decide that everything tastes smooth? Hey, AI, make me a smooth cigar. You know, that's not going to happen. AI doesn't know what smooth is. You have to define the word smooth 1,000 different ways because if you're really using
Yes.
tobacco, you have 32 different variables on every section of the plant. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wonder how many times, that questionnaire got filled out. Oh, the front end was smooth.
Well,
So is that going to be an AI description? Hey, the new smooth AI cigar. If that happens, dude, I'll be pissed because they're probably watching the show and just stole that idea.
I like if somebody actually came out with like a smooth named cigar, I would expect it to be like menthol.
Well, I did a menthol infused cigar when I was doing my munchies. Yeah, I was fucking with all different types of
That had to have been
combinations.
weird.
Dude, I got like 4 puffs in it. It was like a whole Newport pack in one puff. Like like it was bad. Like you lit it and took one puff and like your lungs opened up and they're like, holy shit, I can feel everything. You know what I'm saying? I had to put it down. But there's like one of my buddy Brian, I gave it to him. He's like, yeah, this is great. I smoked the whole thing. I go, you're insane, dude. Like I inhale all my cigars I smoke.
Do you
I'm
really?
one of those. Yeah, I inhale every fucking cigar I
Oh
smoke
my
because
god.
I tell people it goes back to the concept. You take a shot at the bar and do you swish in your mouth, spit it out, or do you know? But when you blend cigars, you really don't want to inhale cigars. And I learned that because a lot of stuff was tasting different to a lot of people because I was inhaling it. And so I was told when you blend a cigar, don't inhale a cigar when you're blending. And so I don't inhale when I blend cigars, but I inhale every cigar I smoked for probably the last, I can't even tell you, man.
Well, JSK has really grown a ton, obviously, since 2015. I
Yeah.
think I think you've come out with some controversial names and controversial packaging, not controversial cigars, but definitely controversial packaging.
Well, I came out with a good one. I was actually the only paper bundled ever in the top 5 of Half Wheel Packaging Awards. I don't know if you know that with my
I
Fuck the
did
FDA
not.
cigar. So if you
Oh
look up the Fuck
yes,
the FDA
yes,
cigar, I
yes.
actually put the cover letter the FDA sent out to every cigar manufacturer.
I
And
did
the
see that.
concept was that you rip the fucking cover letter, so you rip the regulations to get your cigar that had a bunch of middle fingers around it that said fuck the FDA.
And
So
see, it's stuff like that that it really kind of sets you apart from other people, because like you definitely wear your opinions on your sleeves, in the sense that you don't shy away from them. And that's always been one of the things that, and your cigars are kind of that same feel. Like there's a badass kind of like tinge to them, in the sense of like it's something different than everything else. Like it's not what you would see on the market. So what's next with your brand? I don't know if you're doing PCA, but
no, I got
what's
I can't even go to PCA. Like, I can't showcase Nugs and Munchies. Why would I go somewhere where I'm not allowed to showcase a third of my fucking company and then
they won't
call
let
me
you
and ask me?
show in a town that's legal?
Oh yeah, dude, I can't showcase. The year I couldn't showcase my CBD cigars, I got invited to a party in that industry in the same hotel that kicked me out. They made a packaging law based on my munchies just so I couldn't enforce it. But I'll be an asshole and say Jay Davis allowed Rocky Patel to show off his fucking bullshit. You know, they called it a silver bar. It wasn't a silver package. It was a silver bar. It wasn't, a candy bar, or whatever. But, you know,
So
then he tells me,
PCA came out with a ruling about packaging.
correct. So why would I fund a
Wow,
company?
I didn't
Why would I
realize.
fund
I didn't know that.
why would I fund an organization that's regulating me, telling me we're trying to fight regulations for you, but you're regulating me already?
So
Yeah,
okay, so you bring up a
let
good
that
point.
marinate for a second.
So you bring up a good point. I've thought long and hard about this, and I think this saying ascribes perfectly to what actually is kind of happening, and when they're poking you about this. They came for the guy down the street, we said nothing. They came for my neighbor, I said nothing. When they came for me, nobody was there to say anything. And it's kind of in that mentality of like, yeah, I don't make flavored, but if I say nothing, that goes away. It's not like it stops. You give them an inch, they take a mile. And they're just going to keep going for what's next, what's next, what's next, what's next. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, because other brands let them do that to them. I don't. I'll give you a prime fucking example. When Fuck the FDA cigar came out, I'm going to TPE. This was before PCA because they do it in February. Well, I get a phone call from the organization TPE. I was in know this like the back of my hand. I'm driving in the back of a car in Minnesota. My phone rings and it is the organizer of the TPE. And Risty, we are reaching out to you just to let you know multiple brand owners and multiple brand owner lawyers have called us and are trying to have you stop from showcasing that cigar at TPE. Well, I said, well, what do you want me to do? Because the show's in 2 weeks. You're going to save me a lot of money if I send my inventory or don't send my inventory, and I just won't come to the show. And TPE literally said, no, Risty, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It is your company. So I went and showcased my Fuck the FDA cigar. And the reason they didn't want me to showcase it because the FDA was 4 booths away from me on the same aisle. So what I did, I just took a selfie with the FDA. But
That's
that just shows you
awesome.
that just shows you how this industry operates. Do as I say, but don't do as I do. It's good for me to do it, but it's not good for you to do it because I don't follow that model. The first thing someone told me in the cigar industry, she's like, all right, now this is what you got to do with your cigars. You got to go send it to the exporter, and he's going to send it to the warehousing guys, and they're going to send it to the sales guys, and you got to follow this model. It's going to take you a couple of years to open a couple of stores. I was not interested in opening stores. I was interested in selling cigars to the people who I've been talking to on Facebook for years before I opened my cigar company, get it directly in their hands. I was really from the cigar factory table to your door kind of company. And everyone's like, that's never going to work. No cigar shop's going to carry you. I go, Going into cigar store is the least of my concerns or what's on my mind right now. I just want to make good cigars and smoke good cigars with people I've been talking to for years. I decided to go to the cigar stores after 2 years of being direct consumers. And then went every cigar store, which started pure fucking chaos. The cigar side of that is a lot of high school fucking drama. Bro, I'm 42 years old. I don't need to hear why fucking your employee's doing this or your business partner's doing this. Just give me my fucking money you owe me at the end of the month because you're on a net 30. That's the biggest con artist lie in the whole industry. Paid terms. Like, there's people that allow companies to pay 90 days out. How do you run a cigar company financing another company? You know, that doesn't work like that.
No, and
So I'm
it's and you've actually kind of done the opposite of what a lot of these companies are doing, and you've pulled yourself out of shops, and you're
Yeah, I
exclusively all
purposely
U.S. on
closed.
Cigar Page.
Yes, I pulled myself out of stores. At one point, I was in 679 locations in the United States, and people are like, "Oh, that's badass." I go, "No, it's not." I hear 600 fucking people telling me why they can't pay me every month.
So was that did you take a pay cut by dropping everything and going to Cigar Page?
No, I get my money. I get my money
I don't
when
mean I'm not
when
talking about paid. I'm talking about in total gross sales. Like is Cigar
no,
Page selling
no.
more?
Yeah, no. The next shipment, I have a shipment coming to Cigar Page in April. The first shipment that went Cigar Page in January, I did 3 months of sales in 72 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. Even the guys at Cigar Page was like, "We fucked up," and I told them, I know you're gonna fuck up because I'm telling you, you're gonna sell all these cigars in 2 fucking weeks." And they're like, "Nah, dude, this should last us 3 to 4 months." I go, "Okay, I know my people. I know my customers. That's what sets me apart. I know my customers. I'm not just a guy just pushing cigars. I know my customers, what they want and what they enjoy and I know what they're gonna buy." I had one guy call me and goes, "Risty, what the fuck? You sold out of Lanceros." I go, "Yeah, I'm sorry." He goes, "I tried buying 65 5 packs for myself." I mean, that's one customer who was pissed at me because I sold out of Lanceros because he missed it by a day. It released on Tuesday. And Cigar Page called me. He's like, "Hey, just do your thing. They go live on Tuesday. We're going to send our first press release on that Friday." I was in Louisiana doing some other stuff I do. And I just posted, "Hey, cigars are online, this and that." And, Wednesday comes and I have a meeting with Cigar Page and they're like, "I think we have a glitch in the system. It's saying inventory's down to like 70%. Or 70% is sold. I'll get back to you on the numbers on Thursday." Thursday comes around. He's like, "I'm literally having a meeting with my guys because we've never had a fucking brand sell 99% of its inventory in 5 packs versus sampler packs. That's never happened in the history of Cigar Page." A lot of people in this industry hate Cigar Page and won't claim they use them to sell cigars. They're like, "Oh, no, I don't know how Cigar Page got my inventory." Well, yeah, I know how they got your inventory. They drove to your factory and picked it the fuck up. Don't play dumb. Don't tell your other retailers, "Hey, why Cigar Page got my limited for $4 and I'm selling it to you for $7 wholesale and you got to sell it for $14.99 MSRP." That's what happens. And people just lie in this industry nonstop. I sold 3 months of inventory in 72 hours. Am I sad I went to Cigar Page? No. But I will tell you this, I have a completely different deal than anyone else in this entire industry with Cigar Page. And I guarantee Cigar Page will tell everyone that is the truth. People go to Cigar Page to die. I went to Cigar Page to fucking hit the 80% of the market that doesn't have the internet, that still shops by catalog. So
Okay. Okay.
I tell people I hired the number 3 company going on number 2 online sales to push my cigars. And I didn't want to do that, but I had a very good friend to me go, "Risty, like how many people do you really know? Like they already buy your stuff. You're already happy with it. Why don't you let a company who's going to be number 2 in online sales in the United States give it a shot? What's the worst that's going to happen? They're not going to sell your cigars."
So
I'm
let
like,
me
"You know what?
ask you
You're right."
this: one of the complaints about Cigar Page
From
is
other
the
manufacturers,
no. From I've heard from customers is
buy my cigars.
is
Every person that's been buying my cigars will tell you the Cigar Page stuff is better than the previous factory.
no, no,
That's
no,
why I
no,
left
no, no, no. I'm talking about how Cigar Page potentially handles some of their stuff. It comes in dry. humidified. Have you heard anything like that? I've if when you look at reviews of Cigar Page, that's what you'll see. But I mean, then again, you could see that at almost any shipper you go to, probably.
No, I think that's just a fucking manufactured lie told to people. The same $15 cigar you're smoking is the same tobacco and the same cigar I sell for $3 on Cigar Page. So that is a manufactured lie to have the consumer believe that a $3 cigar is inferior to a $15 or $20 cigar that you can go buy at your store. The reason you're paying is $15 for that cigar is because you're paying for overinflated ego of a brand owner. That's
So
why.
so what do you say to the brick and mortars that say, but you're not supporting us, and without us, that hurts the industry?
Listen, like I said, there's a handful of people that fuck it up for everyone. That goes in every industry. I say to the people, but I didn't. You can every brick and mortar that I was in, I did not sell them cigars. I did not push my inventory from my previous factory at a discount to them. I chose not to sell cigars to shops for almost a year. This was a strategic move I did because what do a lot of people do that go to Cigar Page or move to another location? They try to liquidate their inventory for pennies on the dollar. And now, haha, I got the shop to go buy, $30,000 worth of JSKs. And a week later, hey, I'm in Cigar Page at 75% off. I didn't do that. So there's not a shop that can say anything bad, ill will on me. And if they reached out to me, I would help them sell their cigars.
No,
But I chose not to sell to stores for almost a year so they can. I've had stores messaging me, hey man, when can I order? When can I order? I have the cigars there. I chose not to sell them to you as a favor because I knew what I was doing. And I didn't want to pass the buck of my inventory and leave one cigar shop with 80% of the rest of my cigars. And, he's stuck with them because he's never going to sell them cheaper than Cigar Page. I went to Cigar Page because now I can produce mass amounts of cigars, and my numbers became better. And my overseas numbers, every cigar that's going to the Netherlands in my entire portfolio next week, every cigar will be €9 or less. If you talk to
wow,
anyone in Europe, if you talk to
that's
anyone in Europe,
cheap.
that's genius. I will outsell every other fucking non-Cuban cigar in that country in April and in the following month and every month after that because I know how it is to go spend $15, $20 on a cigar. I know I just can't justify it no more. I can't tell someone, hey man, try this cigar for $14. Knowing in my head I can go sell it for $4 and still make a decent living.
Well, now in my circumstance, Cigar Page is worthless.
Why?
My state requires them to still collect state taxes.
Well, a lot of online
So
companies have to fix to
no,
taxes.
no, like when I go to order off Cigar Page, it's usually like when I tried to order a 5 pack of
Oh, it
yours,
was bad. Yeah, I know. I have a guy who was
I
the
ended up
same.
it ended up costing me more than if I went to Smoke In. So I ordered from Smoke In, but it's only because Colorado forces other state. It's not like that for every
Correct.
state, everybody. It's if you
No,
live
it's
in
not.
Colorado.
Colorado just changed that ruling this
Correct.
year, I think.
Correct. Last year.
Well, it went in effect
It
this
went
year.
into effect January 1. Yes. Yes.
Correct.
But not everybody that applies to Cigar Page is just a huge distributor and would absolutely apply to. Some of the other shops are flying under the radar, but that's the only reason why for me it just wouldn't work anymore because there's no
I
different than
mean,
going to Denver for a
I
cigar.
ha- I have a guy in Utah who called me. He's like, I can't get online sale tobacco no
Mm-hmm.
matter what. I got to go to the store.
Yeah.
Can you, if I send you the money, and this is a customer of mine for 10 years, he's like, if I send you the money, can you just buy from me from Cigar Page and I'll pay the extra $9, for you to ship it to me? Yeah, dude, no problem. I've legit started a viable business for my international customers. Like, prime example, my importer in South Africa is like, holy fuck, these are cheaper than buying them from you at the factory right now. I have freight forwarders in the United States that charge like 25 to 50 cents a cigar just to have a dude in another country ship it to his house, repackage it, and ship it to him.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it definitely is shaking up. You're right. The industry is probably
You
sixty
have
forty
the industry has to
negative.
adapt. What cigar shops didn't do no business during COVID? The ones that didn't have an online store.
Now, I guess the difference would be I have an online store and a brick and mortar. So I'm different in that
And I
sense.
guarantee you, and I have customers who had an online store and brick and mortar there. The online store saved that brick and mortar, paid all of its bills.
Sure.
And I had some customers that I didn't sell a cigar to for 2, 3 months during COVID because they were just closed because state regulations. The industry is going to like, it's not the industry. The industry is falling behind. The new consumers are so technology advanced that most people in this industry who are the, they say the old timers or smokers, the brand owners that know anything about IT, there is a way to move tobacco and it's online. It's through digital marketing. Like just people don't get it. Like I don't know how some stores that don't have an online store function
I
at
don't
all. Like
that's always been kind of weird to me too, in the sense of like, especially at least interstate or intrastate,
yeah,
not necessarily crossing borders, because that might get a little shady depending on whatever, but at least like, hey, I'll ship it to your house, you live 30 miles away, like
yeah,
stuff like that you could absolutely get away with. That's always befuddled me as well. um
yeah. No, it's just. I mean, that's what
oh
PCA does. The only reason people go to PCA is to sell a fucking cigar. Like, hey, you have interest in buying my cigar? I'll write you an invoice today and I'll ship you the cigar in August. I mean, that's the only reason people go to PCA is, hey, do I make this fucking shit stick? Do I have enough people that fucking want to buy this shit stick and I'll go make it and ship it to you in August? Like, why? Every
now
time I went to every time I went to PCA, my orders went out that following Monday.
well, that's like I said, I think you've always got to do whatever's best for you. I get both sides of the story. I think you're a little ahead of the game
Oh,
in
this is why
that
people
in
hate
that
me. I
in
just
that
tell it how it is.
online.
You know what I'm saying?
But
You know,
I also think you're progressing faster than the industry when it comes to that.
yes, I've had a few people reach out to me, and some very large people in the industry, and said that is a smart fucking move you did there. And then I also had a lot of people say, "Oh, you're ruining the industry. You're doing," bro. I pay my fucking bills. You don't pay my fucking bills. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
So
what
like, if,
happened? What would you say to somebody if they were like, "Oh, okay, well, then let's just have Cigar Page sell, or let's just have those just sell everything, and all the brick and mortars go away"? That's going to really hurt the industry. What would you say to that?
so be it. Open up another cigar page and give them
This is,
competition.
this is why. This is what makes Bisney a true businessman. He's like, yeah. So what? The market will fix itself. Is essentially
It
his
will.
answer. It's
It
effectively
will.
his, and it's true. The market will always fix itself. But I was just curious if you
No, the
were
reason
like,
because listen, like okay, people live on profit margin and people have inflated fucking egos. People don't understand you can still make money on 10%, 15%. You don't need to be 100% MSRP to make money. You can make a lot of money at 10 and 15% and offer a great value. And if I decide to do that, which I did, you will have the people who live on a textbook side of 100. I need to double keystone my product and have 100% markup. Those are the people that are going to talk bad about my company because I am making people rethink cigars. I sell a cigar for $1.75 on Cigar Page. I sell a cigar for $2.75. I sell a cigar for $3.75. That $375 cigar I used to sell for $14.99 in the store. I sold it to that store for $5 to $7. They wanted to double keystone it. You know what I'm saying? I just know how to make money and move product. And people are just like the people that are mad at me are the people that got told that lie. This is how you run a cigar company. This is how everyone's been doing it. And they fell into that shtick and they're 4 or 5 years into it. Now they're pissed off their company's going under and they can't understand why no one's buying their shit sticks. And now they fucking call Cigar Page. I know brand owners that went to Cigar Page and Cigar Page told them to fuck off because like you're dead. No one's gonna buy your stick. I can't sell it for $1. I gotta take the band off of it and do fucking blink rolls for 75 fucking cents. That's the hard truth.
ouch.
That's what happens.
No, you're not
That's
wrong. You're not wrong by any means at all. I don't think you're wrong in your approach. So effectively, I mean, kind of your take on it is cigar lounges are going to be kind of like movie theaters. It's going to
yeah.
be
Some
a
people choose to go to
nostalgic
the movie
feel.
theater. Some
You
people choose
choose
to
to
go fucking
go,
buy a super box.
but you don't feel, and you're not under the impression that if lounges go away, cigars go away.
Cigars will never, or cigar lounges will never go away. There's still always that guy who'd rather go leave the house, go smoke a cigar 1 night a week or 2 nights a week. You know what I'm saying? People still do enjoy do that. I do sometimes, but I choose to smoke in my garage or my backyard or outside in the park. I can't tell you the last time I walked into a cigar lounge. I
I
just
go
think
every once in a while. I
I
don't go much anymore.
I in the Midwest, everyone goes in the winter or stays at home. You know, people will still people will smoke cigars. People will always smoke cigars. It is up to the cigar industry to decide how are those new people going to be buying those cigars. How many fresh 21-year-olds you see going into a lounge? You're talking to a new wave of kids and technology where everything is they learn is through the tablet at a young age. So if they can buy cigars online, they will buy cigars online. Like,
See, Risty, I think you're ahead of your time in this industry, and this is not me blowing smoke up your ass in any way. The reason why I say it like that is every good philosopher's never appreciated it until years after they're gone, and I
yeah, they're
kind of
sent to
feel like,
kill.
yeah, and I kind of feel like you're introducing, and again, I follow your posts, and like you get great
Thank you.
mic drops, like it's awesome. I love it, but I kind of feel like you're already in front of the entire industry in the sense of in thinking that way or in
That
just
comes from
kind
my
of
IT
visually
background.
predicting where it's going to go. Would
That
you
comes
say
from
that's
the IT
fair?
side. Yeah, very fair. That's my IT background. And you will have to understand that too. In your IT
Yeah.
industry, you have to either create the spear tip or be right behind that spear tip.
Hmm.
And the spear tip always gets the brunt and brutal force of the impact.
No,
And
you're
everyone else
you're
kind of
100%.
is behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, dude, I love cigars. I enjoy conversations like this. I like meet people from all walks of the earth when I travel. But I hated being in cigar lounges. It took the passion away from me. I dreaded, like, I got to the point where I wasn't whoring myself out. Any account they called, I'll sell them cigars. If I didn't like you, or I didn't want to go to your city, or if I didn't like people that I know that are there, I just wouldn't sell you cigars. Because I just can't walk into a cigar store, do an event, and throw in a fake smile. Like, do you know how many fucking brand owners go into shops and sales guys that don't even smoke their brand cigars? They just smoke something they like and put their own brand on it. I've been to multiple cigar events where the brand owner is telling a different filler and two straights over. You know what I'm saying? It's like they don't even know what's in their shit half the time. I'm not in that dog and pony shtick show, dude. You know what I'm saying? It's just what I do. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm not gonna sell you something I don't want to smoke. You know what I'm saying?
I heard somebody say that the cigar industry is only filled with about 10% truth.
That's true. That's true.
I
I
won't
think I
I
told you
won't tell
before
you
the
where.
show. I told you before the show when you said, "Oh, the industry does." Dude, the industry. I've been saying this for years. And I caught flack for this in a cigar press interview I did with the cigar press with Thor. Brother the Leaf only exists between consumers. Brother the Leaf is the biggest manufacturer lie between fucking manufacturers. I wake up every day. I know there's people every day that wish that want. They will publish that press release. JSK Cigars went out of business, but they won't publish the one where I just got back into the country of the Netherlands. 1 out of 60 people, and then I appreciate you sharing it too. But I guarantee you, if I ever come with the press release, I'm closing my company. You know, people will be happy. You know what I'm saying? But then I've
Yeah.
helped so many other small brands coming up, directing them where they should go and who they should avoid, and like, hey, if you go in this direction, you will be out of business. Like, it's not, this guy is not gonna, like, he's just gonna take your money and your shipment's not gonna be your shipment.
So that's actually something that I I've got a little taste behind Oz's curtain. Obviously, nothing to what your understanding of behind Oz's curtain is. There's a lot of people in this industry I will not buy their cigars because I know exactly who they are. And it's kind of like I don't share stuff like that or information, and I'm not going to share any names, and I never would. But it's like you do kind of the wool is pulled over a lot of consumers' eyes with kind of sometimes who some of the brand owners really truly are,
Yeah,
and in the sense of like some brand owners do take blends that they blend for other people and make them their own, you know. and
Mm.
and and you've heard stories like that. I'm not the first one to say that story. Yeah, I'm sure Risty's just looked up in his head and was like, "Yeah, I could probably rattle off like a dozen right now that I know that are doing that actively." And it's just kind of
I'm sure
like,
there's gonna be three of them at the new release at the PCA. It's just another blend that they tried selling last year. There is a story. One company made 9 different bands and put them on the exact same cigars and did a survey, and everyone chose the cool band, and they asked them, well, why didn't you like the other ones? Well, I didn't like the flavor profile on this. 90% of the cigar industry are band smokers.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I can take a really solid, $5 stick on the shelf, take the band off of it, and I've seen this done at events, and they'll go put a $40, $50 band on it. Ah, this is a great fucking stick. I love it. I love it. But then you give them the exact same cigar next day, and you're like, oh, I don't smoke this shit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There was actually you say it there. So there was a this guy was hates sommeliers, and he did this YouTube video. And he's like, he goes, I hate every time you go to a restaurant and the sommelier comes up. For those of you that don't know, the sommelier is a wine expert. Comes up to the table and starts talking about bouquet. So he got a restaurant to agree to have like 8 of like the local top sommeliers and like wine reviewers. He bought nothing but barefoot wine, and he
Yeah.
kept coming out with names and names. They were like, "Oh, this is this grapes from this region of whatever up my ass." And at the end, he goes, "Guys, this is the only bottle you drank." And he put a bottle of red barefoot wine on the
Barefoot.
table, and he goes,
Yeah, it's like a
"This is
few
a
bucks chunk.
$10 wine. You called it a $400 bottle or something like that." Like you guys are just. But the vast majority, like as somebody, I smoke 2 to 3 cigars a day.
Yeah.
If you unbanded a cigar and asked me remotely to tell you what it, I couldn't Pepsi challenge a cigar.
Yeah. A lot of people can. I
Do
can
you
get
think?
close.
Do
I'm
you
not
think
saying
if
I'm
I
perfect,
gave?
but
Do
I
you
can get
think if
close.
I gave you a tyrannical buck and something similar, like what would you say industry wise that's similar to the buck?
Nothing.
But if I was to throw some, would you be able to pick out yours? You think like exclusively
Yeah.
one
I
out of
smoke
5 times?
just the same way. If whatever you smoke every day and I took the band off of it, you would recognize that's the profile you smoke. Yeah. 100%. There's a lot of cigars on the market that a lot of people say are great, and I go buy them myself, and I think they're trash. There's a lot of new guys that come out and make really good cigars, but don't get the press release because they can't afford to send the free samples to everyone, or they can't afford to send the swag. I mean, there's like, and I'm not knocking you because you've never done it to me, but there's so many media people every week. Hey, send me a 5 pack of this, or hey, can you send me a free cutter? I'll use it. Like I normally give people shit for free without asking. But if you ask me, I will never give you anything.
Hey, Risty, can I get one of those beautiful new lighters? No, I'm just kidding. I only said that because
You're dead for me now.
Vinny here in the comments said I need that lighter. That's the only reason why I said that. For those of you
Vince has
that
been
don't,
smoking my stuff for years. He knows
I
who I
know,
am.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
For
So,
those of
yeah.
you that don't know, check out Risty's page. He dropped his brand new Zippo lighter release.
So
Is
those
that a
come out like
butane or is that a soft
it's
flame?
butane. It's the
Okay,
butane inserts.
inserts. Okay.
The single or duals you can get, and we're dropping 2 color pack sets. There's a new 2 pack coming out of colors on the next release. And the first 50 of every single set has my signature lasered onto it.
Your signature lasered onto it. So what is the MSRP on that?
The single is 55 and the dual is 60.
Okay, that's not bad. $5 more
It's
for
like,
the dual.
yeah, I mean, what are most branded lighters on the market going for? The Zykars and stuff like that, 30 to 100 bucks. These are nice Zippos. It's the I bought the ones without the Zippo logo on it, and so it gives us a full canvas to do what we want to do with it.
Okay. Hold on. So what are you then? I don't see a whole lot of swag coming from you. I don't know why it put me in this view. I don't see a whole lot of swag coming from you. So do you do a lot of swag?
I used to. I'm going to do it again now. It's just like I said, I systematically slowed my company down because I knew what I had to pivot my company in a new direction. Like I said in another interview, there was times where I just wanted to close the company down because I was tired of the bullshit. I just have other things I do in my life that I rather put my focus on. So I've said, fuck it, I'm going to do this and restart again on year 10. And let's see if it lasts 10 more years or 20 more years. So everything is coming back out. I still have packaging that I made years ago. I still have a 5-year cigar that I haven't released yet. 5-year anniversary cigar I haven't released, and this is my 10th year. I told people I'm going to do that like the Habano's way. Release my anniversary, my 5-year on my 10-year mark, and my 10 on my 20.
Now, just for all those that are wanting to see that real quick, let's see if I can make this work. There we go. Everybody, there's the lighters that are coming out. 55, 60. You can get them online. Reach out to, where do you get them again, Risty?
I just reached out a local guy named Brian or Christopher. They're two local guys that they came up to and was like, "Hey man, do you care if we just make something in our shop?" And two guys have been smoking my cigars for 10 years. And I was like, "Dude, fuck yeah, let's do it." You know, I rather support local people than tell big brand fucking companies or the big brand wholesalers who are gonna be like, "Yo, you need to make like 10,000 of these." And how many brand owners I know that have like fucking 4,000 cutters at their house because no one buying them. You know,
Yeah, you could go swag broke in this business.
you can go shirt broke in this business
And
too.
I blame Drew Estate for all of it because Drew Estate is the swag king in the cigar industry.
And that's how people go broke, trying to compare themselves or try to compete with, one of those. I don't try to compete with that company. They probably spend more a week in swag than I spend a whole year in my making cigars. You know, so
So how and kind of getting back to AI because I wanted to touch on it a little bit more. Give us the Risty version of you better learn to use AI or you're done. What's your
yeah,
best example of what's your best understanding of that?
learn how to use it to apply to your job, or the guy who just got out of high school is going to take your fucking job.
So what does that mean for the 50-year-old that's in sales? Like how are they using AI? How can somebody learn to use AI to their own business?
Okay, take the last 50 years of your sales or the last 20 years of your sales of your company and have AI define who your customer is, and then I'll tell it to write a protocol or information of how to talk to those people. Learn your demographics, learn your age group, learn everything about it, and ask AI how can I apply a 5% increase in sales in this demographics that we just discovered who my customer was. That shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to do. And
See
then now you
guys,
go have write a script. Hey, write me a script. I'm heading over to California. Reference everything anyone in California lives in this neighborhood that is going to help me boost these sales in this product. And you can rip and reduce or replicate that everywhere you go. Hey, I'm meeting a customer who's been doing this for 20 fucking years. Rewrite the script for me so I can sound more knowledgeable to this person who's been 20 year industry vet. Or hey, I'm meeting an idiot that doesn't understand anything. Write this at a fifth grade educational level so I can sell them the exact same product in a different way.
or
That's how you do
I don't
it.
understand math and my kid needs help to explain it.
Yeah. Hey, take my sales sheet and write it as a kid's children book, and, and it will. People don't understand. AI will do exactly what you ask it to do.
And that is honestly kind of a scary but cool thing, a cool understanding of it. Um, you
Dude,
know,
no joke. My daughter has math homework I don't understand because it's the core 40 or whatever she does, like the reducing or whatever this new math technology they're doing or trying to implement. I just take a picture with my phone of the page and tell, hey, solve this equation for me. And now tell me how to explain to my daughter how to teach her how to do it and teach me how to do it. And that takes 5 seconds, depending on your internet connection.
well, I tell you, Risty, we got people buying packs of cigars right now from Cigar Page, watching the show,
Buy
posting it
everything. I
up.
think that the only thing left is a toothpick. And like I said, dude, I did 3 months of sales in 72 hours before, and that was just from the people that know me. Like people, it's like I'm gonna tell you the cool thing about the cigar page thing, right? I thought I talked to everyone on Facebook in 10 years of selling cigars. I legit talked to people I've never talked to in my entire life that have Facebook accounts because of Cigar Page, who I couldn't reach because they weren't in that group, or they're not my friends, or we have no one associated as friends, or never saw my post, or didn't know who I was. I had people call me as a guy, I just bought your 5 pack. This is a great cigar. I'm going to spend $50 every paycheck to buy a 5 packs from your company because I looked you up. You're a personal dude. You're an everyday dude. You shoot the shit. I'd rather support you.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So that was a good thing that came out of it. And plus, I sell a lot more cigars. Like the biggest problem I have right now is inventory. I don't have, a very low. The only thing I think left on Cigar Page are the 6 packs or something like that. The toothpicks, 3 and 3, and I think they're what 17.99 shipped to your door. I mean, come on.
But that's never really a bad thing, right? To sell out that quick. I mean, it maybe makes your life a
For
little
me,
harder.
I thought for me it was great because I told them what was going to happen. I go, this is will happen. We will sell the inventory, and you're going to sit there and be like, "Fuck, we fucked up." And I screenshotted that text message. They literally said we fucked up.
But you also
But
do for you
but this
promote your own product on Cigar Page too, which a lot of brands don't do.
that's why I say a lot of brands are bullshit. I embrace it. I want to move inventory. I'm not like, oh, I'm not going to be that brand. Oh, how did Cigar Page get my inventory? Oh, what they must have acquired it from a store. No, dude, like stop lying to your consumers. You sold it to them directly. I sell to Cigar Page and they sell my cigars to their consumer base.
Now
I don't.
Brent asks when you're restocking, and you had said April.
Second week of April, there's a massive fucking shipment landing in the U.S. And it'll probably be the third week of April to be on the site. And it'll probably last a week or two. That's it. I told them they literally did 4 times the amount of volume in the original order.
Jeez, jeez. Well, one of the other things that I love following about you, dude, nobody eats like you. Like you are like Wagyu this, A5 this, your shrimp look like fucking lobsters. Like I wouldn't want to fight one in the ocean. They're just like, dude, your spread, you did like a crawfish boil or something like that, dude.
My buddy
Your
did that. My
Yeah,
buddy
your
does.
spread
Yeah.
was just like it was so how do you find the time to do everything you do? You have like a dozen companies. You're pulled in 18 different directions. You use AI to
Yeah.
do as much as possible, but yet you eat better than most people that don't work for anything and can cook all day. Like, my gosh, dude. Like, what the hell, man? How does this work? Teach us.
I don't know. Dude, just become friends with your butcher, man. Your local butcher. My butcher calls me every Tuesday before 11 o'clock in the afternoon while he's at the slaughterhouses asking what he should bring back just for me. He's like, "What do you need?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'll take 30 pounds of New York strips, or I need 15 pounds of fucking chicken thighs, or 10 pounds of ground beef." I mostly eat meat. Like 90% of my diet is just meat.
So you're more
Like,
carnivore, meat, fish type deal.
yeah,
So
I
so
eat 5 to 6 steaks a week. Sometimes I eat three on a Sunday.
so what's a Macedonian meal? What is it similar to US? Is it
It's
meat and
more like
potatoes?
the Macedonian stuff. That's like meat and potatoes, the goulash, the beans, the smoked
Heavy,
meats,
heavy.
the heavy smoked meats, dried meats, hung cured meats, thinly sliced feta cheese, stuff we grow in the garden, stuff in the vegetables. A typical meal would be like a couple slices of pork belly and let's say a salad, from your garden, some feta cheese, some salt and
I love
tomatoes.
feta.
And then you polish it off with like a 150 proof shot of moonshine or something like that. That's it. Get the system going in the morning.
So what is the best level quality of meat you've had? Now, I know you've posted Wagyu, but have you actually
I've
had,
had
like, what is it,
olive.
the A5 is the highest?
I've had real A5. I've had real olive wagyu, which is
Olive Wagyu?
yeah. It's they're more on like a olive diet.
Oh,
animal.
interesting.
And so it's a more creamier cut of meat. But honestly, dude, like a lot of that stuff is just like fluff, just like the cigar industry, the $1,500 cigar and shit like that. I buy a lot. I buy a lot of meat to where I get it at like a really good price because I buy 30 to 40 pounds at a time.
Why not just buy a
I
cow?
would, dude. Sometimes I do.
You do, okay.
Uh, but I will tell you, some of my best meat is Black Angus, Colorado
Mm-hmm.
farm. I
Mm-hmm.
buy 29 to 32 pounds of New York strips every month of that. And I usually,
Okay.
me and my dog, I'll eat a strip maybe a day or every other day. My dog will have a strip. My wife will have a strip. You know what I'm saying? But you are what you eat. So I try to eat healthy. And I think that is healthy. That's done it good for me. You know, at 27, I had a heart attack. I'm
Oh my
42.
gosh. Like
Yeah.
like
I used
a
to weigh like
scare?
100. Yeah. I was laid up in the hospital with a fucking camera up my thigh looking at my heart at Monday morning.
It's like surgery too?
Surgery. I didn't get the surgery part. I got lucky.
Wow. That is insane. That's intense.
Yeah, yeah, but I weighed 300 and like almost 70 pounds when that happened. And
Wow.
I was eating Burger King, McDonald's 4 times a day, and drinking Rock Stars and Red Bulls, like a half gallon of it every fucking day at the time.
That's a
But
very
that
IT
was
diet though.
it. Very is an IT diet.
That is a very IT diet.
Two rock stars and a fucking egg Normus from Burger King is a very IT diet.
Yes, Risty. If you ever come to Colorado, man, I need you in studio. I want to hang out with you. In
Yeah,
every way, man. I
fun
think
to
it'd be a
call out
lot of
here and there
fun.
for other business stuff I do. But yeah, next time I'm there, I'll definitely love to do the show with you
Yeah, dude,
in
I
person.
think that'd be a lot of fun. I think that'd be a lot of fun, man.
Throw her for something. People want to come by or something. But yeah, dude, like I'm really happy we finally got to cross paths. I know we were supposed to be on the show years ago, but I think it's better maybe that it finally took this time to actually be on the show. Like,
Well, yeah, it's in the beginning I wouldn't have known as much about you, and now that I do, it makes it a lot more better. Plus, for those of you that don't follow Kevin Shahan, if I may talk about it, is that
yeah,
okay? Okay.
yeah, awesome.
Um, so he actually the Pirate Grace
O'Malley,
O'Malley, Grace
Chris
O'Malley.
O'Malley.
This is a without talking too much about it. This is a
That's a great.
collab.
It's actually rum barrel. I made the blend for that, and he aged that almost a year in the rum barrel. And it's if someone told you that was a flavored cigar, they would probably believe you, but it's not flavored.
Oh no, I actually
Oh,
had my buddy smell it. He goes, "Dude, there's no way that's not flavored." I'm like,
correct. I said
like
the
it
same
is.
thing too. I'm like, yo,
It's very good, guys. Like it's exceptional. I've had two, and he did a great job
nice.
with Kevin, and Kevin's a very very close friend. So definitely, if you want to support Kevin and JSK, jump over to Trash Panda Cigars and pick up the Grace O'Malley, and it'll give you a totally different feel of what Risty can do, because it's I think the first bourbon barrel or the first barrel age that you
Rum barrel.
did.
First rum
It's the
barrel
first
age. That
rum barrel that. But did you ever do a bourbon?
no, this is
No.
the first actually non like traditionally infused cigar. It was so the cigar. The guy asked me what cigar. That's a blend I did. It's a red night blend, but it's a higher priming we use in the filler. So it's and I he wanted to go Maduro, and I talked him into the Habano because the Habano is going to absorb more, and the Maduro is going to muddle out a lot of that infusion. So I think really the rum infusion really shines on that and really makes people think like, holy shit. I thought it was when I opened it, I'm like, holy fuck, this smells like a flavored cigar all day.
It does. It does.
But no, that blend absorbed that barrel like
It's
really well.
very sweet smelling, but like in an alcohol sweet smell. That's
Correct.
not like a. It doesn't punch you.
Taste
It's
punch
like a
foods.
really good smooth smooth smell to it. But no, it's absolutely fantastic. So you guys jump over to Trash Panda if you're looking for cigars that Risty has done, and buy yourself the collaboration cigar with very good friend of the show, Kevin Shahan over at Cigar Prop.
Really good dude.
I love
He's a
Kevin.
really good
Love
dude. Yeah,
Kevin.
he's a nice guy. And go buy my stuff in Cigar Page. There's only one sampler. I wish there was more left on there, but there's only one. And it's the toothpick. The toothpick does extremely well overseas. Like It just
Toothpick's good. Toothpick's really good.
it outkicks its $10 and $12 competition cigars all day, dude. It's blind rated 90 plus. It's blind rated. Someone thought it was a Cohiba at one point, but one guy's like, I'll pay $14 for this. And one dude was about to flip the table when I told him it's $6 MSRP. And he's like, what the fuck? But now it's $1.75. 5 pack, $17.99 shipped to your door. It's 12 6 pack, whatever they're selling for. I didn't even know what they were going to sell the cigars for. I sold them what I wanted them, sell
Well,
my
yeah,
cigars.
you make what you want to make off of it. Let
And,
them make what they want to make.
and they're like, what do you want us to sell the cigars for? I was like, I don't give a shit. You bought them. Something for whatever you want to make a margin on them.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I'm the easiest guy to work with, dude. Trust me. Like, I don't care how much money you make on it. If you want to sit on them, sit on them. If you want to run them through, run them through.
So
All I know is consumers getting really good fucking cigars.
So are we? When is going to be like the next big JSK release? Obviously, you've got the THC,
The third
the
shipment.
nugs.
The third shipment from Cigar Page will bring all my old stuff back. Me personally, I'm doing the THC line. 2 more blends are coming out this year. I'm reintroducing the CBD line of some different sizes this year because I control all of that myself in the States. Cigar Page just does all the core stuff for the US. I still do all the other stuff for the international, and I still do the munchies and nugs myself.
So is your CBD stuff going to like dispensaries? Is that where you're going to sell your
No,
THC?
No, the problem with dispensaries, most local states have in their bill, you can't have a tobacco product in the same roof as a dispensary and vice versa.
So how are you going to sell the THC?
I don't know. Shit just gets out there, I guess.
Well, it's always that's what I was curious is like because I know I talked to the Smoky Cave and they're like, no, legally we can't carry that.
Correct.
So this is why Risty's a great man because buck the system as much as you can. Go smoke a tyrannical buck while you're at it.
Fuck yeah, man. Hey, and when you're done smoking that, I want you to take the band and go long ways and flip it over and tell me what it looks like.
Like this?
Yeah.
Flip it over like this?
Yeah, and hold it vertical. I can't say what it looks like because I have my kids in the same room. What's the head of that? What's the eye look like now? It's the head of it.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, that's my fuck you to this. That's my fuck you to the industry. The factory called me. He's like, amigo, you know what this looks like? I go, yeah, I know exactly what it looks like. That's what I was designed like that. Fold the eyes. If you want to fold the eyes behind each other, and then like now just have the tip of the eye reverse. That's been an inside joke since that cigar was released in 2019.
That is too funny. This is what he's referring to. It's very Matt Booth. I just gotta say, did you get that from him? You guys got to be great.
No,
friends.
but he's one of the dudes I look up to in this industry. I still look up to the dude. Yo, Matt Booth is a G, bro. Matt Booth is a solid dude in this industry. I don't talk highly of a lot of people, but Matt Booth is a fucking solid dude, man. Like legit.
I love Boofy. I love Boofy.
Yo, he called me. He's like, "Where were you born?" I was like, I had my birth certificate says Gary, Indiana, and sure as fuck, a week later, a shirt that says Gary, Indiana with a giant AK across the chest came to my house. He's like, "I know you would rock this every day." I was like, "Fuck yeah, I would." So I have to cut it. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're fine. You're fine. So, just really quick, just a couple more seconds here, just for a few lightning round questions, and then we'll wrap it up.
Ask away.
What is your favorite cut?
My favorite cut? What do you mean?
V, pick.
I use a straight razor blade.
Okay, straight cut.
This guy right here. I use this guy.
Oh, use a knife. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a founder blade. I know the owner Pierre and these guys real well. We were in the same table in Dortmund when they released them international. So I got to know those guys. I have actually a founder's blade.
Okay, fantastic. What's your favorite pairing?
Ooh, depending. New cigar, just water. Cigars I normally smoke, it's either going to be, honestly, seltzer water. I'm not going to lie to you. But if I do choose alcohol, it's going to be a very maybe like a 52 or 53 uh, percent, so like 102, 105 proof, and mostly like a rye. I like a good rye.
Okay, okay. What about what's your favorite rapper? You could give me singer, or you could give me musician and cigar rapper, but I'm mainly asking cigar
Oh, and
rapper.
my favorite rapper ever is Notorious
Okay, fair
B.I.G.
enough. Can't go wrong with that.
And my favorite rappers I love to smoke is Ecuador and Habano.
Okay. When the time comes and you're gone off this planet, how do you want the cigar industry to remember you?
Yo, that dude made a lot of fucking noise and he's still resonating.
See, dude, this is what I mean. Like Sex Pistols, like seriously, like that's just kind of what he wants. He wants the disruptor title, and he does a really good job doing it, but being respectful at the same time. Though
Correct.
that's talent, Risty. That's talent.
Thank you.
Um, and then if and when the time comes and you're able to meet a creator, I always like to ask this question. I took it from James Lipton inside the Actor Studio. I just like the introspective part of it. What do you want to hear your creator, whoever it is, what do you want to hear them
What do
say
you
to you?
you did good.
It's an honest answer, everybody. That is the most tame answer Risty has given to a question all night. And I love it though. I love it because
But that's the
that's
fact that
truth.
all at the end you want to hear you did good, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. You did right by you. You did right by your family. You did right by your
Yeah.
fans and right by your consumers. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining. This interview went by super quick. We
Well,
are
we can
gonna
have
be.
another one
Oh
whenever,
no,
man. Set it up.
we are going to be having Risty back on as often as he is willing to be on, because we still have a lot of tech stuff to go through, and that's really
I would say
what
we
I
didn't even like
love.
scratch the tech side, but I
Oh yeah.
appreciate you having me. I appreciate you finally, hitting me back up and be like, yo, let's do the fucking show we were meant to do years ago. And I'm like,
Absolutely,
yes.
brother.
And I
Absolutely.
I thought it was gonna be last month, and I hit you up and like, yo, when's the show again? And you're like, it's next month. So I was like, I had to, so I, dude, you know how it is, man. I'm just busy. I appreciate you. You're on top of that. And like I said, dude, man, anytime you want to have another rap session like this, I welcome it.
Awesome. Well, Risty, you will always have a home here on the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. And
Thank you.
definitely, please, when you come out here, shoot me your phone number and I'll shoot you mine. When you come out to Colorado, I'd love to set it up where you can come in the studio for a night and invite some friends down and have a good time with you. I won't have
Cool.
A5 Wagyu, but I might have some
Who
pork.
cares? I'll stop at the butcher shop and grab some bison.
Well, there you go. There you go. So, to everybody watching, thank you so much. This has been another live episode here at the Smoking Studios of the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. And until we see you all again, smoke what you like, smoke as often as you can, and have a great rest of your week. Bye,
Bro, you got to do
everyone.
some fucking intros for some Instagram things, dude, for real, dude. Like I said, dude, if I was a WWF wrestler, you would be hyping me up before I walked out that fucking stage, dude. First one is back. So thank you, man. Enjoy.
Thank
Thank you
you
meeting
all.
everyone, and thank you for watching, guys. Bye.